God, look at them.
65.
They're a nice depth.
That's the new inner drive hub as well.
The thumb.
Oh, he's not in.
But what about the thumb tool?
It is around.
That's the tool you're after, isn't it? The thumb tool. Enve have made a special thumb tool.
There it is.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah, you just need to undo that bolt and then yeah, feed it through the same way.
So Enve have made a mechanical thumb.
Yeah, as best they can.
As best as they can.
Yeah.
This is a mechanical thumb. But this is specifically made for doing rim tape. So you could adjust that depending on the rim width as well, I guess.
Yeah, you can do that as well, and I guess you could even probably flip it upside down as well if you really wanted to, depending on how you use it.
Yeah.
That's how it came to us from Enve. So
I've not yet used this.
You don't want to butcher it, do you?
I don't want to muck it up.
Josh has done the test ride of the thumb tool.
So you need to be able to do it the way that the roller then goes.
You feeling the pressure?
A little bit.
Thumb tool though.
Thumb tool.
Saves your thumbs.
In fact, this is very satisfying. Yeah.
Big. I've done too many packing up things involving sellotape recently that I hate the idea of anything that is basically sellotape. 150 jerseys, mate. I had to pack up. 150.
I mean, life choices.
It's done a great job though.
Yeah, this is nice. This is such a wicked tool.
Well done, Enve, for making another brilliant product.
Yeah, well, how amazing is that?
Enve Foundation 65s. Talk to me.
So these are the Foundation. You can't really call it an entry-level wheel set because they're certainly not. They are still feature all the technology that you want from an Enve wheel. So you've got the hookless rim. So it's a modern style. So it's quite a wide internal rim bed as well, and quite a deep channel. So when you're putting on tight tyres, they're not the worst to work with.
Because you could get it into the channel. Yeah.
And then inflate it from there. There are still thumbs that you're gonna have really sore thumbs afterwards, but they're just a very good balance between sort of stiffness, aerodynamics, and also price point. You're getting a hell of a lot of wheel from these Enve wheels actually.
And they're still made in the same factory as the SES range. They're still, it's still a proper Enve product at the end of the day, right?
Well, they are made by the Enve factory, but it's not made in the US Enve factory. So where the same place where they make their frames, because it is an Enve factory. It's not like it's another person's factory and it gets farmed out. They're made by Enve people.
Trained in the same way.
Exactly the same, using tooling that Enve make themselves. So it's an Enve product. It's just made where there's better volume capacity. Because making it in the US, they're just a little bit held back just by capacity. They're making the full custom roads. They're making all the all the SES stuff, and the M series stuff. So it's a lot of work.
The Foundation gravel wheels, are they made in the same factory as these as well? Oh, cool. Really cool.
So these are an excellent balance, as I say, it's sort of the value of them, the performance of them, because it is still Enve tech in it, and they just roll really sweet, especially on the new inner drive hubs as well. So these are the new inner drive hubs, and you can tailor the hub with the other ones to suit this type of riding that you're doing. So you've got 40, 60, 80 and 100 tooth profiles. They come as standard with 60, which is what you get here. And it's looking at balance. That's what these wheels are great at. And you're looking with the 60s, it's a good balance between engagements, like how quick it is to engage, and how much drag you get from the system. If you go all the way up to that 100, the engagement is almost immediate, but you get a much greater degree of drag on it. So it's better for things like your cross country, really rough gravel conditions. And then your 40s, if you drop right down to the 40 tooth profile, Then you've got something which is a bit more time trial. You don't have to have really sudden engagement. You're not stomping on the pedals.
Steady state, constant pushing on
Constant and then low resistance.
Nice.
From it. So when you stop pedaling for any period of time, not that you really do that when you're time trialing, but if you are stopping pedaling, you're not then sapping any energy out of the system.
So a lot of people are using these for like crit races, triathlon, time trials, that kind of things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really versatile wheel set. You have also got the 45. So if you're looking for like that entry into road racing, that's a really great, very versatile way of doing it. But if you're looking for that little bit of extra free speed, then the 65s are the way to go, certainly. They're a really fast but not unwieldy thing. So when you get a break in the hedgerow, you're not going to get chucked across the road. They've managed that really well, just because of the profile again. And Simon Smart designed the SES, all of the same design and the sort of ethos behind that design has come over into this. It's not an SES wheel set, but it shares a lot of that same heritage and design parameters.
And at a much more friendly price point.
Yes.
Still premium wheel, of course, but it is a much more accessible price point for an Enve product.
Exactly that.
Pogacar
himself is a real big fan of these foundation wheels. They are used as their training wheels, which seems quite excessive in some cases, but actually these are incredibly comfortable to ride. So when you're putting the miles in all day, every day, like they have to, these are the chosen wheels. These are the valves which go in your foundation wheels, and they are a little bit different. So a lot of people, when they put their tubeless valves in, put it in and they'll just crank up the lock ring. And you know, we've seen people put their Nipex pliers on and then really like
destroy it
in. Yeah, but you might be able to see on this, I don't know if you can or not, but there's little grooves around the outside of it, and that, when it goes over the valve, allows air to pass through it.
So you could just about see there's like a little bit of, you can see the light coming through it basically. Yeah.
That allows any air that goes into the rim, so into the actual inside of the rim, to allow to be bled out of the rim. So should anything happen and air gets past this from the tyre bed into the rim, it means that you don't basically explode your rim. And we've seen plenty of other brands, rims pop because of overpressure from air.
So it's quite important to use, especially that specific lock ring for Enve wheels, and probably most wheels, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just alleviates any potential problems to come from these rims, and especially when you're objectively putting down a decent chunk of change for these brilliant wheels. You got to look after them, and this is one of the best ways of doing it. And you don't. And a good taping, just a really good taping, you don't need to ratchet this up. If you haven't taped it right, it's going to bleed loads of air into the rim. If you have taped it up right, and you've got a good rim bed, which is also important, then you don't need to put pliers on these lock rings.
At the end of the day, the seal is here.
Yeah.
And if this is sealed, I should show you that. At the end of the day, the seal is this part here, and if this is sealed well, it should be absolutely fine. And as you say, well taped. A tubeless tyre is going to, nowadays tubeless technology is that good, really. You shouldn't need to, you know, in terms of rims and tyres, you shouldn't need to do too much to them.
No, exactly.
We've got some special tyres to put on as well. These are Schwalbe Pro 1 Aeros. I don't even know these are actually available yet, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be filming them, but fuck it, I'm going to put them in anyway. And they are a slightly different front and rear tyre. Both are 28mm tyres, but their profile is slightly different on the front and rear. The idea is that the front one is a narrower tyre. The rear one, even though they're both 28s, is slightly wider. The rear one has effectively supposed to have a lower rolling resistance than the front one. They've done lots of science on it. I don't truly understand it, but it's clever people stuff. I just think they look cool. They're grey. They're like a grey sidewall.
That's cool. Yeah,
that's cool, isn't it?
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the seal is this part here, and if this is sealed well, it should be absolutely fine. And as you say, well taped. A tubeless tyre is going to, nowadays tubeless technology is that good, really.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need to, you know, in terms of rims and tyres, you shouldn't need to do too much to them.
No, exactly.
We've got some special tyres to put on as well. These are Schwalbe Pro 1 Aeros. I don't even know these are actually available yet. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be filming them, but I'm going to put them in anyway. Okay. And they are a slightly different front and rear tyre. Both are 28mm tyres, but their profile is slightly different on the front and rear. The idea is that the front one is a narrower tyre. The rear one, even though they're both 28s, is slightly wider. The rear one has effectively supposed to have a lower rolling resistance than the front one. They've done lots of science on it. I don't truly understand it, but it's clever people stuff. I just think they look cool. They're grey. They're like a grey sidewall.
That's cool. Yeah,
that's cool, isn't it?
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. It hasn't popped yet.
Maybe. Huh? Use it?
What's happened?
That's not normal.
So we've not had a pop yet. Tubeless tyres need to pop. Now we're all really confused. It's popped then. Missed it, but it has popped.
Yeah, so does my trousers.
Just need to go to the bathroom. We're putting some pink and silver touches
Yes.
on this bike.
Snazzy little touches.
So this bike will eventually be the bike that I end up doing the National Hill Climb on again. Of course, I'm not going to be riding 65mm rims for the National Hill Climb. We've got something very, very exciting for that, which will come further down the line, which is part of the reason why we're using some silver bits of it. So yeah, I'm quite excited to show that. But for now, we're going deep sections. It's a bit of an aero frame, so it's going to look really beautiful.
It's gonna look good.
Every single build we've done has been something very lovely about them.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite?
I really liked your grey matter.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favourite to date.
Really?
Yeah.
The cheapest.
The cheapest one.
The cheapest one.
Yeah. I just like the idea of it being brought. It's a potential being brought out of it. You know.
Enve lightweight bottle cages with some bougie wolf tooth bolts. It had to be pink.
Had to be pink.
Yeah. If only Chris King made pink hubs still.
I tell you what, I'd be fighting you for the hubs.
They used to make these beautiful, like, was it called matte pink as well? God, it would have looked so good.
Well, thank you, sir.
I held it the wrong way.
So I felt this the wrong way.
Ah, we made it work. God, this is a nuts bike. What we got here?
AR.
Arr.
R bar. It's your AR bar.
Quiet down those Chris Kings over there. They're not Chris Kings, are they? Quiet down those MB hubs over there.
Will do, sir. Sorry, sir.
This is the loveliest bar in the world.
40s.
40s, what I like.
Flare up to 45-ish. 45.2, like it even says so.
Oh yeah.
Integrated. So you can have...
Integrated, but also not integrated.
Also not integrated. You can do it many ways. Many ways.
But the reason why this not integrated is nice because it just makes serviceability much nicer as well. But you can still run the cables in internally here into the stem, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, so the brake hose would run in here, into the bar, through the stem. DI2, you can put it through the ports in that way.
So this is the handlebar, which is on almost every single bike.
Yeah.
Because it's such a versatile bar, we've got it on a gravel bike, got it on an all-road bike, and now we're putting it on a proper road bike. It's a little bit aero. It's nice and comfortable because it's wide.
Yep.
I like the fact you've got this little dipping
Tape line, I guess.
tape line, yeah, and slightly flared, so it actually feels really nice on the drops as well as on the hoods. It's a nice shape. Ergonomically, it works really well.
Definitely, and you get a nice shape with the ergos as well. So because of the shape, the levers themselves are ever so slightly toed in, just naturally, so the way that they fit, and that just does take out a lot of that sort of rotation from the wrist. And then because you've got a very comfortable sort of, your wrist is turning inside, it's nice and comfortable position. You're not then putting all that force up through the bottom of the wrist.
Yeah,
As
perfect.
it knocks around.
Yeah.
It's just as you say, ergonomically, it's so well thought out that it's the perfect bar for a lot of situations.
I may be biased, but I think this is the nicest handlebar I've ever ridden.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go for the same thing. I know that I am certainly biased being here, but it is objectively the best bar for most situations.
I'm very much looking forward to this bike being built properly. We've sort of semi-built it. We made it easier for Nick.
Probably not, to be honest.
No, because he'll have to dismantle it. We made it look good for a little photo.
It looks, yeah, exactly. I think that's the most important thing. We've made it look like a bicycle should look.
We put a saddle on it this time. Last time we didn't put a saddle on them.
It's true. It's much more comfortable to sit on now.
I haven't really said much about this frame. This is an Argon 18 Sum, but this particular colourway, there's a colourway done for a German Conti team called Mallorca Push Bikers. So they've done a special colourway for the team. They are selling a few of them in their shop in Germany. So if you actually really like it, definitely contact them directly if it's something that you're interested in and you'd like to get. You can get the Argon 18 Sum in some other colourways, but this particular colourway is only available via the team. And I'll put a link into their Instagram below because it's pretty mint. So we've basically done like a rolling chassis, wheels on, got the cassette and the rotors on, seat post is in, handlebars and stems are on, and then it'll be going to backyard to finish the build properly next week, I hope. But it is looking ridiculous. Nick, it's your job next. Thank you very much.
No
As
worries.
always, a pleasure to come and hang out at Saddleback and
As always, a pleasure to have you.
make things like this start to come together. It's going to be I'm very excited about this one. I think mainly because it's pink.
It's pretty wild.
It's pretty nuts, isn't it? Oh.